Pokemon Generation 10 leaks have been coming out recently, which is absolutely insane, but we don't know about the starters yet. So I feel like the starter Pokemon for this game hopefully are going to be really cool. Since this region is going to be based on Greece, I feel like they could really make some insanely awesome looking starters that kind of have that Greek mythological feel to it. Now, Cardinal over on Twitter has made some concept starters for Generation 10. They look awesome. So shout out to Cardinal. I'll leave a link to his Twitter in the description. These look awesome. I would absolutely love this. And the middle one right here, the bat looking Pokemon, I think is really cool. Honestly, I kind of wish these were the Generation 9 starter Pokemon. I actually really love these, especially the green one, the cow. Bro, come on, are you kidding me? That is so awesome. The Pokemon Generation 10 starter Pokemon, though, could be based around, the Greek mythological lore and stories and stuff. So obviously, since this region has taken place in Greece, I feel like it would just make sense for it to kind of have some sort of Greek mythological ideas or inspiration behind it. So I feel like a fire starter would be amazing to have some sort of phoenix. The phoenix bird originated from Greek mythology. If you don't know what a phoenix is, it's basically like a fiery bird that is reborn from its own ashes. Now, this would be absolutely perfect for a fire starter. We have had a couple of Pokemon that resemble birds or are birds for the starter Pokemon. And this reminds me of Torchic, but obviously it would be a lot different because Torchic evolves into Blaziken, whereas a true phoenix bird would evolve into like a big phoenix. And now I know we have Moltres already, but it would still make sense, guys. It would just still be super cool. And these are all just theories, of course. Now for the grass starter, I think it'd be really cool to be a goat. I think a cool design would kind of be similar to Cardinals with the cow, but just kind of like make it a goat. And yeah, we have Go-Goat already, but we could still have more than one Pokemon that looks similar. But it would be really cool to see something kind of inspired by the mountain goats. It'd be kind of cool if it was like a little kind of cute, playful goat, and then it evolves more into like a sturdy, bigger creature that's kind of has some heavy armor. I feel like a heavy armored goat would be perfect for the grass starter for this game. And then as far as the water starter goes, I think a dolphin would be perfect. So dolphins are pretty big symbols within Greek mythology and just the history of Greece itself. And now a dolphin starter Pokemon would be super cool. We had Palafin in Pokemon Generation 9, which like Palafin could have had a better, final stage evolution. So I would really love to see a better looking dolphin Pokemon. I think it would be so awesome. Dolphins are some of the coolest animals out there. It could be themed around Poseidon maybe. I feel like that would be pretty cool. Now, this game is going to be super interesting. So it's in an archipelago, which means there's a bunch of different islands pretty close to each other. So I think that like the riding mechanics are going to be pretty similar. Now, I don't know if it's going to be the legendary Pokemon, like how we had Corodon and Meridon. We met them early on in the game and we were able to obtain them pretty much at the start of the game of Scarlet and Violet, and now they were our rideable Pokemon. But Legends Arceus, we had different rideable Pokemon, like a different Pokemon for each kind of activity that we're using it for. And now before we get to the rest of the video, if you guys don't mind leaving a like on this video, subscribing to the channel, and turning on the post notifications to help me reach my goal of 20,000 subscribers. You guys are so awesome. Thank you so much for all of the support. And shout out to the member of the week, Corey. Thank you so much for becoming a channel member. It really means a lot. If you guys want to further support the channel, I do have my memberships on. We get some behind the scenes content, some, extra footage and stuff. And I also have a Discord server where you can get a special role. And I'm going to be adding a chat within that Discord for members only very soon. So thank you guys all so much for the support. All right, back to the rest of the video. And it would be cool to have maybe the starter Pokemon kind of play into that. Like, a dolphin Pokemon could obviously be the Pokemon we're using to swim between island and island. Or I think that maybe the Phoenix bird Pokemon could obviously be the one we fly on, of course, and then go up to the clouds, because apparently there's going to be floating islands within this game, which sounds insane to me, which makes me think of Olympus. I think there's probably going to be a big city up in the sky. Now, I feel like that could be game-changing for the future of Pokemon games. Obviously, this is a Switch 2 Pokemon game. Exclusively, at least according to the leaks, which I definitely believe. I don't think Game Freak is going to want to hold themselves back to make this a Switch 1 game, because I just don't think they could do what they want to do if this game is on the Switch 1 as well. And I know it's a little bit unfortunate that it's probably going to be a Switch 2 exclusive, but it's going to be okay. I think it's going to work out just fine, because I think by then a lot of people will probably have a Switch 2. And not to mention that Christmas is going to be a couple of months after the release of this game, so a lot of people will probably be getting a Switch 2 for Christmas that year as well, which is awesome. And then the grass starter, the goat, could obviously be, I guess, the Pokemon that we could climb up mountains and stuff, because goats obviously like to climb up mountains. So that would make sense. Obviously, we need a couple of other Pokemon for different tasks though, so I don't know if the starter Pokemon thing would really make sense for like the rideable Pokemon, but it would be really awesome to see. Now, up in the sky with Olympus, I feel like this could be an awesome region. Now, I feel like this could be an awesome area. So I don't know if it would be like kind of an archipelago up in the sky, if you know what I'm saying, like a bunch of different cloud islands up in the sky, as well as a bunch of different islands down in the ocean. I think that would be the coolest thing ever for a Pokemon game. The Tears of the Kingdom had floating islands, right, which a lot of people actually really enjoyed, and I think if they could do something like that for Pokemon and just make it really unique, and obviously have like Olympus up in the sky, now that would be cool. Olympus could be the place for like maybe like the Elite Four, or like the champion. I think that'd be kind of makes sense. I would hope this would be an area that we can unlock relatively early in the game, though, just because I would be dying to reach this area. Or like maybe we could go up in the clouds, but then the specific Olympus area just isn't available until the end of the game or something. I don't know, but something like that would be just amazing. And when I first learned that this game was officially taking place in Greece, I thought of, Landorus and Thundurus and stuff, like all the cloud Pokemon, which you actually did get one in Legends Arceus. We were introduced to Enamorus, which, kind of fits in exactly with, Thundurus and Landorus and stuff and whatever, which it would be cool to see them within this game as well. I really loved these Pokemon as a kid. I thought these were like some of the coolest legendary Pokemon ever, and it fits perfectly with the Greece region in my opinion. So it'd be really cool to even like see another one of these Pokemon be introduced of like a different typing. And who knows, I don't know if Legends Arceus Enamorus was a hint or reference to this game being based in Greece. I mean, it's probably not, but I don't know. It just is a fitting thing. I know it's not like exactly a Greek thing, but it would just be really cool to see that. Now, the legendary Pokemon for this game, I think are going to be really cool. I feel like the biggest names you think of when you think of Greek mythology is Zeus and Poseidon. So if you get a legendary based on Zeus and Poseidon, they're pretty much, I guess, kind of opposites in a way. But I feel like those are some of the biggest names out there. Or, Zeus and Hades, of course. But I feel like they probably wouldn't do that because the word Hades may be too dark for the Pokemon, franchise. And they may not get as many sales if they use that word. So that's why I think it's probably going to be something with, like, Poseidon and Zeus. And Wind and Wave, the, I guess, fan concept name, is such a perfect name for this game. It's definitely not going to be called Wind and Wave. We're definitely going to still have to wait to see the name for these games. But it's going to be super awesome. So we know that the code name for this game is Gaia, which I feel like in a way could actually kind of make sense for this game. Typically code names don't actually mean anything. No, like code names typically don't really have anything to do with the actual name of whatever the code name is a cover up for. So it's obviously not going to be like something related to Gaia. But when I think of Greece, I personally think of a lot of like nature and then all of the mythology. So that's why I think Gaia actually kind of does make sense, especially there's going to be a lot of water. There's probably going to be a lot of greenery and grass with the islands. It's going to be something super awesome. Now, Scarlet and Violet apparently did tease Greece. In this picture right here, you can see the vase or the pot, kind of like the Greek flag, and then we have a picture that kind of looks like Greece in the back, even though the picture's pretty like low quality, so it's low-key kind of hard to see. I'm really excited for this game, though. I really do think it's going to be something awesome. I just can't wait to get more information about this, and now there are still a couple other brand new leaks that have been coming out, but I'm not going to report on it. I just don't know the legitimacy of it, and I don't want to like just report leaks, but I really do think that the starter Pokemon are probably going to be really cool. In my opinion, the starter Pokemon for the last couple of years just haven't been hitting as hard as like they used to. For me personally, I still like the starters. However, I can't help but feel like a little disappointed at sometimes, which makes me feel sad. You know what I'm saying? Because the starter Pokemon are always like the most intriguing thing for a brand new Pokemon game for me. So I just would love to see like 3 amazing looking starter Pokemon that I just love all 3. No shade or hate on any of the past starter Pokemon. Like I still like the starter Pokemon recently. I just feel like they could hit a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? I know some people may disagree with me, and that's okay because that's what opinions are for. You know what I'm saying? We all have different opinions, so that's okay. Speaking of opinions, let me know what you think that the Generation 10 starters are going to be. Give me your concepts and ideas in the description below. I would love to hear what you guys have to think because there really are endless possibilities of what they truly could do. There are so many different stories and ideas they could pull from Greek mythology to put into the starter Pokemon and put their own spin and twist to it, which they are very creative. Every single starter Pokemon is super creative, and that's what I love about the starter Pokemon. It's going to be really interesting to just get more information, like the gym battles, the Elite Four, if there even is going to be an Elite Four, and the champion, and the islands, what every island is really going to entail and kind of be like. I just cannot wait to see more. And now, we're probably not going to get an official announcement about Generation 10 for a while. I don't think they're going to announce it until, I don't know, maybe Pokemon Presents or Pokemon Day 2026. Now, they could definitely announce it in August for the Pokemon Presents. And the only reason I'm saying they could possibly do that is because of these leaks coming out, so they could just, you know, get ahead of the game, I guess, and announce the title. I don't know, I'm kind of doubtful on that. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. Once again, let me know your thoughts about what you think the starter Pokemon are going to be for this game. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, turn on the post notifications, and if you are a real one watching this far in the video, comment down below, chicken, just to let me know that you're watching this far in the video. Anyways, thank you guys so much for the support, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.